And that's why I hate tyranny so much, is that it overruns the strong. It overruns the creative. It attacks the leaders. It attacks the beautiful because the control freaks are like a cancer. They're not dominant. They're malfunctioning. They don't hold beauty in high esteem. They don't honor it. Their spirit, their soul, their intellect does not commune with all that is good. They see beauty as ugly. They want to pull it down. I've studied history. I've studied their psychological makeup. In every case in history, these particularly nasty elites do this. Sometimes you get a philosopher king. I'm always against kings and centralized power. But sometimes you get a king who discovers beauty and discovers humanity and society. And those are times when societies flourish, like nothing you've seen. But it's very rare, and that person always falls because the levers are seen by the tyrants and the control freaks under them, those that simply seek power for power's sake, who want to press blindly on the nerve of power. They will overthrow anything centralized. And so a philosopher king, the wise king, and it's happened many times in history, is still extremely rare. And it's transient. It's like lightning in a jar. It flashes and is gone. Only a generally educated and informed populace in science, mathematics, beauty, literature, music, history, the love and desire to build and to honor creativity and honorableness, that will build a system that will take us to the stars and beyond. And beyond. The subatomic, all of it. We're already unlocking the secrets of the universe. We've only begun to learn. We've only begun to even imagine the incredible power that our species is capable of. The globalists, at least 30 years advanced, are still mere children, despite the fact that they have even more advanced secrets. Just because they cold-bloodedly understand how humanity operates and have created this artificial habitat to control us doesn't mean that they still aren't influenced in blowback by the societal poisoning that they've engaged in. And so now you've got psychopathic groups with armies of sociopath control freaks under them, and the mental midgets that also serve them in the lower rungs in control of what can only be described as super science systems, believing that they're cold-bloodedly executing this when they're the opposite of cold-blooded. You people are going to destroy yourselves. You're not just going to destroy us. You can't destroy the general public without destroying yourselves. Have you not learned history? No matter how powerful your genetic engineering, no matter how powerful your computers, no matter how powerful your systems, I don't care that Google can predict mass movements down to almost 100%. Of course, that's what DARPA built it for. I told you 15 years ago I knew it was a crystal ball. What do you think that crystal ball is going to do? It's going to destroy you along with us. You people aren't gods, and you're not meant to be gods. And humanity is only crawling right now. Could humanity in the future control these systems? Assuredly, yes. But not until there's real leadership that doesn't seek to dumb down and destroy, but seeks to unleash the fires of liberty and stand back in awe at what humans can do. I admire strength and beauty. I admire creativity. I admire art. I admire people doing better than I do. When someone's better looking than I or smarter than I'm not disgusted by them. I'm not envious or jealous. I admire them because they're a human and so am I. And it's that type of understanding that is going to free this species. We have the worst of our people running things, who have graduated by degree in the crimes against humanity they've committed, until they now are a charnel house orgying in corruption, trying to one-up each other on how ruthless and bloodthirsty and sickening they are. The art houses in New York and Berlin and Paris, for decades, the most popular, highest-selling art is the most vile, ugly things you can imagine. And the elite battle with each other to own the most sickening, disgusting, frivolous art they can, because it's part of a sick debasing. It's part of tithing to evil, tithing to ugliness. They're not stupid to pay $55 million for a skull with upside-down crosses painted on it, encrusted with diamonds. They're doing it to worship the dark energy they've given themselves over to. And it is your inability out there to uncloak these people. And all you got to do is open your eyes. They're not cloaked. All you got to do is put the sunglasses on, the spiritual, psychological, survival instinct glasses, and go with your gut, go with your intuition, go with history, with common sense, and you will suddenly see them for what they are. And it is disgusting and pathetic. When I look at Rick Perry, I don't see someone powerful and strong. I see a crone, a wraith, a stilted, jilted, owned, twisted, empty vessel for dust. I see the same thing with Obama, a prancing, teleprompter reading joke. I can see them. What are they saying? They live. I got one that can see. It's so easy to see. But you've got to be ready to face what you see once you open your mind's eye. You have to be ready. All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. You take the blue pill and you go back to where you were. And all of this is forgotten and it's just a dream. You take the red pill, and we go down the rabbit hole. But as you reach for the red pill, remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. We have let evil run rampant and take over every facet of society. We have taught ourselves that corruption and ugliness is sexy and powerful and cool because it's aberrant. We have sold ourselves on bondage, that it's trendy to go with the flow. Some people get freaked out by this radio show, and they should. But don't get freaked out in despair. This is the great challenge. You should thank your lucky stars that you are alive right now and part of this great challenge. You are alive at the beginning of the greatest conflict and challenge that our species and this planet has ever seen. The future destiny of our species and all those that came before us and all the 7 billion alive today and all of the trillions to come at the birth of our species, the true next level of where we're going. We are here at that jump point. We are here at that crossroads. The globalists look out across the seas of time and they see the empowering opportunities of uplifting humanity. But because of their fallen nature, they seek to covet this information for themselves, lest you get it and they no longer be in power. But they will never be able to attain those heights that they can see if they do not repent and change their ways. They will not go forward. They are barred. They are blocked. They are damned by their own decisions. They will not go forward into the future. The pit that the technocrats have dug for humanity is a pit that they are at the bottom of. Only by turning with knowledge and love and honor and goodness does this species have any hope of obtaining the unattainable, and that is survival. Following the course of the controllers leads us to certain doom. Doom is more than a word. Doom is so much more. Doom is complete. Doom is forever. Doom is irrevocable. Doom is where this road leads. And all of you that believe you will protect yourselves and your families by joining with the system or by trying to sit on the fence, you are neither hot nor cold, so I spit you out of my mouth. Do you want to be spit out of the universe's mouth? Is that what you seek? Better to join with Satan willingly. Better to join and consciously know the evil missile you ride right into Hades than to think you're going to cheat God of justice. You don't think there's good and evil. Look around you. You don't think there's a God. Look where you are, in the middle of wonderment, spinning through space, the light of distant stars, many of which long extinct, burn in your eye, burn in your mind, burn forever in your soul, the light of creativity and creation. We are made in the image of the great creator. The devil is not the grand architect. The devil takes God's name and is a counterfeit. We're going to return with the tipping point, then all the news and your phone calls. I'm done preaching. Stay with us. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the sites, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back live. Thank you for joining me.
Gather around me, people.
So you've got another big scientific outfit that's come out and said, wow, once 10% believe in something and stand for it, nothing can stop them. You're talking about less than 1/10% that are true Luciferian globalists. And even if you're an atheist and go, Alex, I don't want to hear about gods and devils, the globalists at the top do worship Lucifer. And I've infiltrated their meetings. I've gotten their documents. I've covered it ad nauseum. Skull and Bones, you know about it. That's who they believe they're getting their power from. And they do have some power, don't they? The God of this world. And continuing here, Natural News had a report on this a month ago that I mentioned. Peer pressure causes people to literally alter their memories of recent events. So see, we have the truth. We have historical evidence. We have facts. They just have a bunch of dumbed-down propaganda. And that's why the globalists put out so many different spectrums of disinformation to just flood the political and sociological and economic debate with a bunch of background noise and confusion. And that's a multi-thousand-year-old military system, a tactic of the fog of war, of confusion, of smoke. Going back thousands of years ago, they would routinely send outriders out to a completely different area randomly and start attacking people just to sow confusion. And, in fact, if you go back to some of the British intelligence maxims that have been declassified that go back over 200 years, they would say little prayers at the end of their meetings about, may our enemy be confounded and confused. May we sow discord and confusion in their ranks. May we be focused and clear. This is what it's all about. The globalists know exactly what they're doing. They're following their program so bold that if anyone had the courage to actually look at their own writings, they would immediately all be arrested. Peer pressure causes people to literally alter their memories of recent events. It goes, humans are highly social animals, and for many years, psychologists have observed a variety of both positive and negative effects resulting from a human tendency called memory conformity. When groups of people are exposed to a similar experience, their recollections of the experience, as well as their feeling and values related to the event, tend to reshape over time in order to conform to those of their peers. Empirical evidence of memory conformity and social compliance have been suggested by classic psychological studies conducted in the 50s. Famous experiments and studies have been conducted in schools, prisons, and workplace settings. But earlier this year, the Journal of Science published a study providing the strongest neurological evidence yet in support of the existence of memory conformity. And basically what they would do is show somebody a red car, but then have the authority figures say this is a blue car, and the majority of the people in the university setting would then believe it was the wrong color. If it was really blue and they said red, they would say it was red. If it was really red, they would say blue. And that's the cold-blooded control freak game of these media pundits and people that work at CNN and Fox. They're into conning people. They're not into unleashing humanity and telling people the truth and going, here's the keys. You know, here's what I've learned. Here's my knowledge. Now, increase your power. They don't just marvel. They don't like watching powerful rockets launch into space. They don't like seeing people pole vault and do incredible things. No, they're threatened by that. They're the greedy, hateful people. They enjoy lying and watching people be conned. I've covered some of the news, but I haven't gotten to really the crux of it yet. And I will do that throughout this hour and the next. And we're going to have open phones. I'm going to give the number out in a moment. I just want to mention here's the New York Times. Perry suggests Fed is almost treasonous. Kind of like he said, sometimes I want to secede in Texas. It's all rhetoric, talk. Just like a enemy fighter bomber coming in will sometimes broadcast the opposing side's codes to confuse them. But if the enemy tracked that jet taking off in a foreign country, it knows that it's a deception. I mean, just because somebody, in a special forces group in World War II and the Rangers knew how to speak German and would walk up to a foxhole and say, I'm your friend in German, before they threw a hand grenade in, didn't mean that the special forces were friends with the German army. Just because Michelle Bachmann comes out and says, it's our choice, liberty versus tyranny. Rick Perry, I'm going to fight the treason of the Federal Reserve. Channeling Ron Paul. And suddenly Newt Gingrich is like, we need to do something about the Federal Reserve. It is duplicitous. Those very people, especially Newt Gingrich, would attack anybody that criticized the Federal Reserve. And now that it has won the day, people know, oh, you mean the presidents are bought and paid for by these foreign bankers? You mean they get to make trillions of dollars out of nothing, and then we give them the money, and then we have to pay them interest on money we give them? That sounds like a big scam. That sounds like a scam so ridiculous. How do we get in this position? Quiet, quiet. Don't look at Ron Paul. We have Rick Perry. Rick Perry, here, let's pull the little string. Pull the string. Federal Reserve is almost treasonous. I got pointy boots on. Pew, pew, pew. My name is Rick Perry. My name is James Richard Perry, or J.R. That's right, J.R. James Richard Perry. James Richard Ewing. I mean, give me a break. The only thing not phony about Rick Perry is he really is from Texas. Oh, by the way, Politico came out. Others did as well. Rick Perry responded and admitted he worked for Al Gore. Oh, your operatives, Rick Perry, saying I was lying about that in the last couple of months. Didn't work. The dam broke. Ooh, they're going to find out about all the other stuff now. Oh, sorry, Ricky boy. Now, there's a certain limp-wristed type of waddling Republican who likes to be patted on the head by Rush Limbaugh and others. And you guys love destroying yourselves, so you'll probably, cheer, even if they steal the election from Ron Paul, But at the end of the day, your big government-loving ways are coming to an end of the road because you've been so successful destroying the country. And so no matter how you paint things up, no matter how you sell this propaganda, no matter what you put on the label, people know it is something that, well, got dropped out in the middle of a field by a horse. And they're not buying into it. And see, there's something... but I am going to, during the next break, come up with a 3-word search term. So start your engines. I haven't decided yet what it's going to be. I'm going to have Aaron put it in his headline and re-upload this video to another channel because something's going on with it. And we're going to put that search term out and see if they're censoring Ron Paul. Now, if I give a very archaic sounding or very rare name, it'll go to number 1. And so I've done the test. I've done strange sounding names. They go to number 1. Things that aren't in their list. And we've identified what they're doing by trial and error. So what's a good term to describe this? If we did Ron Paul tipping, that doesn't sound... I want to go to this video in the article. Ron Paul tipping point Ron... Yeah, but the problem is that term is all over the news. We have to use something that won't drive the traffic to all their mainline garbage. Okay, that's good, and I thought of that, but I think I thought of naming videos that, but Ron Paul winning is he's already won so many straw polls and won so many other events, no one will end up coming to us from it. So it'll become number 1, but then it'll just be diluted off into the hinterland of the Niederwall, the underworld of the internet. I'll think of something, and we'll get an article up there. So at the bottom of the hour, I'll give you a search term. Now, I want to open the phones up on any of the issues I covered last hour, any of the news I'm about to get to right now. But here's the deal. I'm going to go to you, and I'm going to try to be quick so we get to the next person. So be ready to explode with your point, and we're going to move to the next person. 800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231.